Hello, this short video is an introduction to something that we're calling LifeWorks. Have you ever wished there was something just really to help you stay on track as a follower of Jesus? Something to keep your faith fresh and real. Something to give you some markers, some foundations, some guidelines for what it means to follow Jesus and to stay fit and healthy as a Christian. Well, I've often wished that myself, and this LifeWorks vision is intended to help all of us do those very same things, to stay fit as a Christian and to stay fresh as a Christian. If you're a new Christian, to help you get on track as a follower of Jesus, and if you're an older Christian, to help you stay on track as a follower of Jesus. Being a Christian really is about three main things, and the LifeWorks vision fleshes each of those things out a bit so that we can make sure that we're attending to the important things that keep our faith real. We're using the image of a tree to describe these three things. The first thing relates to the roots of the tree, where we're rooted as Christians. We need to be rooted deeply in God. We can all too easily make being a Christian about what we do for God, or what we know about God, or how committed we are to God. But fundamentally, being a Christian is in the first place understanding and appreciating and receiving all that God has done for us and continues to do for us. It's about how much He loves us, how committed He is to us, how much He knows about us and accepts us anyway. Our security and our confidence come not from our ability to serve God, but from all that God has done and continues to do for us. So in the LifeWorks vision, we want to really focus on the goodness of God and His presence with us. And we're calling this element of the vision our life source, which is to be rooted in God. The second element of a Christian life is the shape that we take in everyday life. What do our lives look like to ourselves and to others? This shape is represented by the leaves and branches of the tree. What does it mean to live for God, the God in whom we're rooted? Well, it means to live a life that's distinct, a life that's just like Jesus. Now, that's a challenge and something we'll spend our whole lives trying to achieve. But a life like Jesus, deeply trusting in God. A life that obeys God completely. A life that's content. A life that's grateful. A life like Jesus that's lavishly generous. And a life that's courageous and bold in standing up for our Father in heaven. This shape of life we're calling our life shape. And it's dependent on us staying rooted in God. What connects the shape of the tree and the roots of the tree is, of course, the trunk of the tree. And through the trunk of the tree, all of the resources from the roots flow into the upper parts of the tree and cause it to be fruitful. What does this represent as a Christian? Well, this represents the things that we do to draw on the roots of God. Things like prayer, things like meeting God in our scriptures, things like the help of Christian friends, things like living a well-balanced and well-ordered life. These things that we do to open up our lives to what only God can give, we're calling our life streams. So these three parts of what it means to be a Christian, being deeply rooted in God, taking the shape of Jesus in everyday life, and allowing the resources of God to stream into our lives, are what the LifeWorks vision is all about. They're summed up in one text from the Old Testament, from the book of Jeremiah. It says this: "Blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence." Blessed is the person, in other words, who's deeply rooted in God. their life source. The passage goes on, such people are like trees planted along a riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. These people are resourced by the goodness that flows from the roots deep in the riverbank. This is our life streams, the goodness of God flowing into our lives. And the passage finishes like this. People like that, people who are rooted in God and through whom the life of God flows, such trees are not bothered by the heat or worried by long months of drought. Their leaves stay green and they never stop producing fruit. There's a description of our life shape, independent of our circumstances and what's going on around us. But because we're rooted in God, because we're drawing on His life, our life takes a shape that's always green and always fresh and always fruitful. Now, this is a compelling vision of what it means to be a Christian. And the Life Works vision is a way of helping us work at these things, stay focused on these things, grow in these things. One of the important ways that we do that is by engaging the help of some Christian friends. It may be that in your small group, you will get the help of friends who you know well already. And together on this journey, with resources that we will provide, you can discuss how well your life is rooted in God, how much it's taking shape for Jesus, and how well those streams of life are flowing into and through you. It may be you're in a fellowship band here at Thornbury Baptist Church, and this vision will give fresh life and impetus to your meetings together as a fellowship band as you consider how your life works in this way. Or it may be you're not yet in a small group, but you would love to get together with one or two other Christian friends to use the resources that we're going to be creating around this vision to help you stay on track as a Christian, to help you get fit and stay fresh as a follower of Jesus. We're going to be producing all sorts of resources. There'll be a page on the website. There'll be resources to help you pray, to read the Bible, to get together with friends and discuss these things, to reflect by yourself if you're a more solitary type. But we really want this vision to shape our life together so that as a community, we become more and more deeply rooted in God. We take the shape of Jesus in our daily lives, individually and together. And we learn what it means to draw on the resources, those life streams that will give us the life that only God can give. So if you're up for the journey, that's it. Life Works. You'll hear much more about it over the coming months. You'll see things on the church website. You'll be given resources. But this is what it's all about. Simply this, living lives that honour God by being deeply rooted in Him, by taking the shape of Jesus Himself, and by allowing the streams of God's life to flow into us.